Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. So as you can tell by the title of this video, the blonde bits of my hair. It's a good thing I kept my old blonde extensions from when I had a literal blonde moment. We're going to be reacting to a Swedish music artist in the making. She has spent most of her YouTube career as of late covering a lot of artists from pop but make it metal to actual driven metal, whereas either her own written music, music instruments played as well, and or her singing other covers. Lately she has been, obviously getting very creative, not just pandemic creative, but creative in general, with obviously her own written music. So we're going to be reacting to Blooming. A lot of people have said that she has very, very eerily similar vocals to Amy Lee, obviously from Evanescence. So I have already heard Blooming, because it's already been released to whatever form of music player that you have on your device. Mine's iTunes, the default version. So I have heard Blooming quite a fair few times, but now we're obviously going to be reacting to the music video side of it. I have seen little specs on Instagram, but I try not to give myself spoilers. Pretty flowers so far. She's absolutely beautiful. She's Swedish. I'm hearing a lot of Lizzie Hale in her vocals right now. It's just like she's between laying in a bed of flowers versus also being pressed up against a wall of flowers. I love her deep vocals. I love what she's wearing as well. I love that it just always looks good. I could have sworn her fingers were just on fire. Ooh, eyes. That's very Shannons and Adol, The Purge. That's very red toned. I love the separate visuals. It's like regular clip, but the secondary same clip, but just more transparent. Take it back the opacity. She has a very fortune teller mixed witch thing going on with the pale eyes, and I still swear her fingers are on fire by CGI, obviously. Or visual effects, really. I'm noticing that the border of the video is very similar to Billie Eilish's videos lately, where it has that older fashioned video format. She sounds very, very Amy Lee right here, when her octaves are just a little bit higher versus the beginning Lizzie Hale sounding vocals. And I know that every artist is obviously very unique vocally, down to the octave, but you can't deny she sounds eerily similar to Amy Lee. And even she takes pride in that, hence her Evanescence covers. I'm loving the mix between reddish filters and the darker clips with the fingers on fire. And now flowers are on fire. Everything's on fire. Now she's on fire. By special effects, obviously. I'm trying to think of what era this filtering is supposed to represent. I can't think of the era, like 80s or so? Late 80s? I thought for a second she turned into the wholesome flower. No, she's still regular. or about as regular as she's ever not been. And right ad. Oh, we bumped into one. You still know what I mean? Okay, so obviously when I edit this, I will be able to get a clearer perspective on the music video again when I watch it. Frequently looking at my camera, making sure I'm still recording, making sure I'm still in focus, etc. It's also about 3 in the morning. I am not about to sleep anytime soon, so I figure why not just react to Violet Orlandi? I've always wanted to. Anyway, bits of hair from the blonde speck of extensions. Dig into my eyeballs. So I love the frequent changes between frequent flowers, between the wall of flowers that she's literally up against, and the more angles of her on a bed full of flowers, like her more laying down position. It was awesome, the shot of her fingers on fire based off of visual effects. It is actually possible to put on a really cold lotion of sorts, but then technically set yourself on fire within video effects. Every single element of the video was just so beautiful, very floral. It's like a rock version, like Dove Cameron's So Good but Make It Rock. I mean, she was like covered in flowers and very still and porcelain doll-like, and in this one Violet was obviously surrounded by flowers, the wall, the bed of flowers, flowers that were frequently on fire, etc. I was about to say something else, but I love how it was a very smooth, slow rock, and her vocals switched between very so grungy, like Mr. Misery level of Lizzie Hale's vocals, but they're more typical, very slow, smooth, rock-like, deep vocals that Violet was progressing throughout the earlier part of the video, but then her octaves got an octave or two lighter, and she sounded more closer to Amy Lee. I mean, she has such a beautiful voice, obviously, hence why she's a rising artist. I mean, all of her covers, her collaborative covers, and more of her... I also love Creatures. It's the other single I have of Violet's. Honestly, it's actually kind of a rock song that you can dance to. Not that I have specifically danced to it, but it's just, when you're listening to it, you just feel very dancing to the tune of the music. And it's singing about, how it's always thinks she's experienced some creatures under her bed or something like that. And her family just had not seen it. Hadn't really seen the creatures that she was fearing. Blooming, on the other hand, it's clearly a song about growth of sorts, hence blooming. When flowers bloom, they've obviously reached a full growth status. It could also be a metaphor to her music career as far as YouTubing goes. So this was my reaction to Violet Orlandi's Swedish YouTuber, her latest single Blooming. Thank you all so much for watching. I shall see you all for my future videos. Bye guys.